Namaste to all. In the past, I have made several videos to prove that Sri Krishna Maharaj was a great yogi, Yogeshwar, and Sri Krishna tried to give the Vedic knowledge to Arjuna for him to fight the war, basically. We have to always give very clear attention to each and every word used by Vyas Muni or Sri Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita, because Bhagavad Gita was not written by Sri Krishna. Bhagavad Gita was written by Vyas Muni, and Bhagavad Gita is not a separate book. Although we are calling Bhagavad Gita as a separate book, but Bhagavad Gita is part of Mahabharata written by Vyas Muni. So we have to understand that Vyas Muni is a philosopher of Vedas. Vyas Muni is a Muni, is a yogi, is a tapasvi. Similarly, Sri Krishna studied Vedas from his Acharya Sandipan Maharishi, and Sri Krishna does everyday Ashtanga Yoga Tapasya as mentioned in Mahabharata. He does everyday intense Ashtanga Yoga Tapasya. He does everyday Yajna along with the Rishis. He serves Rishi Munis at various instances in his life, and thereby he attains a Samadhi. That is why he is addressed as Yogeshwar by Vyas Muni in the Mahabharata. Even in Gita 18th chapter, if you see, there are words used as Yogeshwar for Sri Krishna. So Sri Krishna is a yogi and he is not Almighty God. This is also, incidentally, I was reading the book Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Ek Vedic Rahasya, written by my Acharya Swami Ram Swarup Yogacharya. In this book, the specialty about this book I have told in several videos, but if you are seeing this for the first time, the book clearly explains that where from the knowledge of Gita is originating. Sri Krishna studied Vedas. Because of his Vedic knowledge only, Sri Krishna is able to speak like that. That correlation, that every shloka is emanating out of a Veda mantra knowledge, is given by my Acharya in this book, and no other Gita is available in the market which can clearly explain that how Sri Krishna or Vyas Muni got this knowledge. Only this book is there in this total world, which is totally authentic because it is fully based on Veda mantras. So I always suggest everyone who is asking doubt about 10th chapter or 11th chapter about Vishwaroop, Virat Swaroop, etc. I always tell them that Virat Swaroop is a concept of yoga philosophy. Before going to that Virat Swaroop, please always understand the basics. And the basic is Vedas. Do not read Gita without the Vedas knowledge. If you want to read Gita without you having Vedas knowledge, then you should read only one Gita, which is based on the Vedas, which is Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Ek Vedic Rahasya. Now this shloka 2/13 very clearly proves that Sri Krishna is not Almighty God. Sri Krishna is not Paramatma. The shloka is like this: Dehino asmin yata dehe kaumaram yovanam jara tata dehantara praptir dhiras tatra na muhyati. So here we have to understand the word Dehino. Dehino in Sanskrit will become Dehinaha. If we read the Gita written by anybody in the market, Swami Mukundananda, Swami Prabhupada, etc., when we read those Gita, we will understand they would have translated Dehinaha as of the embodied souls. But nobody will understand the meaning of embodied souls. The exact translation of Dehinaha in Hindi is like this: Sharir Dharan Karne Wale Jivatma Ko. That means the souls which are taking the bodies based on its own karma, of course. The soul is acquiring the body. It could be human body, it could be any other body based on its own karma. But here we have to understand the souls, the Jivatma, they acquire the body. Paramatma does not acquire the body, because Veda says Aja Ekpata. Aja means God does not have birth and death. God says Akayam, I do not have a body. Asna Virang, I do not have nervous system. Avrinam, I cannot be separated, or there is no drilling possible in me. I cannot be divided into parts. These are the qualities of Almighty God mentioned by God in the Vedas itself. So soul, Dehinaha, soul acquires the body based on its own karma, is what Sri Krishna is trying to tell to Arjuna. This means that Sri Krishna also is in the body. That means Sri Krishna also is a Jivatma who acquired his body based on his own karma. And of course, it's a different matter that in this Janma, when Sri Krishna was born, he did intense Ashtanga Yoga Tapasya, he did study of Vedas, he worshipped Almighty God, he served his acharyas, he served Rishi Munis, thereby he attained Samadhi and he was called as Yogeshwar. So Sri Krishna is also a soul. Sri Krishna acquired his body. This is clearly giving an indication that Sri Krishna is not Paramatma, because Paramatma does not acquire a body, because Paramatma, God says in Yajurveda, Akayam, I do not have a body. I do not have a nervous system. Because when we have a body, we have a nervous system inside us. So God is further giving clarity. Do not ever think that a person having a nervous system, a body as me, because I do not take human birth or any other birth. I am beyond death and birth, and I do not acquire body. I do not need a body to function. Whereas you need a body to function. You need a body to undergo your result of your own karmas. That is what Sri Krishna is saying in this sloka. Dehinah Sharir Dharan Karne Wala Jivatma. So Sri Krishna also is Jivatma here. Sri Krishna is not Paramatma. Sri Krishna is Supreme Jivatma, of course, because the yogis, every yogi is supreme. They are not normal Jivatmas. They are supreme because of their own tapasya. Everyone, every Rishi Muni is much more than the normal human beings, because normal human beings, we are not tapasvis. Sri Krishna was a tapasvi. In that context, we can tell Sri Krishna is supreme. But he is not Almighty God. He is Jivatma. So the knowledge, Sri Krishna says that just like our body, it takes birth, it is a child, then after some time it becomes young, it goes into adulthood, then finally it goes into older age, and then it will die. I mean, the body is dead and the soul will again go to another body. So this process is continuing again and again and again, unless and otherwise we start doing tapasya, unless and otherwise we attain samadhi, where we will escape from the birth and death. So he says to Arjuna that the Dhir Purusha, the yogis, the tapasvis, the Rishi Munis, philosophers of Vedas, they know this secret. That is why they never get sad on the death of anybody, because they really know that nobody will die, because Jivatma never dies. And they know that the body will, if it is taking birth, one day it has to leave the body. So they will not get into sadness. Hey Arjun, so similarly you also understand that your Bhishma Pitamaha or your relation, whatever, whoever is standing in front of you for the war, do not get into worry. You are going to remove their souls out of the body, but they are Jivatmas, they are not bodies. So he is trying to give the Brahma Vidya knowledge to Arjuna here. But the important point why I made this video is not to explain the shloka, but to explain the fact that Sri Krishna is using the word Dehina. Dehina means Sharir Dharan Karne Wala Jivatma. Those souls which are acquiring human bodies or any other bodies based on its own karma. So Sri Krishna also had his own body. So Sri Krishna is a soul. He is a Jivatma, not Paramatma. The difference between Jivatma and Paramatma is Paramatma creates this universe. Paramatma gives the knowledge of 4 Vedas to Jivatmas. Paramatma controls the birth and death. Paramatma never takes any form, any body. But Paramatma controls the entire universe without the body. Whereas a Jivatma requires eyes to see, a mouth to communicate, ears to hear, etc. etc. Whereas Paramatma does not require all these things. So this has to be clearly understood. That is why I thought of making a video very clearly to also re-emphasize that Sri Krishna is not Almighty God. Sri Krishna is a Jivatma. He was a great yogi. Thank you so much. Namaste. Om.